So one of the things you might notice in the Microsoft Dynamics portals is when you look at the navigation along the top, you've got a little house where it's got the home link. So if I go to edit the navigation and then we open up and edit the home link for that navigation, you'll notice that the word says home. What we've got over here is an image URL and it's got .fa.fa-home. Now, what that's using is something called Font Awesome. So Font Awesome isn't specifically related just to Dynamics portals. It's used by many people. It's used on websites. I've used it before on WordPress sites. So if I go to the Font Awesome page, we've got information about what Font Awesome is, and it's basically something that you can put on your website and then use different icons to display instead of words. So if I go ahead and I click on icons, let's go ahead and put an icon next to where the knowledge base is. So if I search for book, for example, you notice that some of them are grayed out, and if you hover it says Pro. You can pay for a license if you wanted to, but there's so many for the free that it's really not necessarily worth it unless you're doing a lot of customization. So I'm going to click and just filter by the free, and I've got one that is a book. So if I go ahead and click on it, it then takes you into where you can see information about that specific icon, and then you can see that's what it's going to look like. You can copy the Unicode or you can copy the HTML, which we'll look at in just a moment. What I'm going to do is, I know that the name of this is book, that's the icon name. If I just look here, where like I said we've got .fa.fa-home, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do that on the knowledge base one, and I'm going to do .fa.fa-book. So I've got that one in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just save that, and then we'll go ahead and save again and wait for it to refresh, and now we can see immediately there the icon showing next to it. Great, pretty straightforward. Now let's say that I want to go ahead and put one here for the most popular knowledge base articles. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this, and I've got the text that's being displayed, but what I'm going to do is go into the source by clicking on this button, and what we're going to do is I'm going to search for a thumbs up. So we'll just search for thumb, filter by the free, and there we've got one thumbs up. Now this is where I'm saying this HTML, because I'm doing this in the source area, that's basically what it's going to be looking for. So I'm going to click to just copy that HTML. So it's been copied to my clipboard. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to paste that in there. Actually, let's put it after this. There we go. So I've got most popular, and then I'm going to put a thumbs up sign. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and I'm not going to see it there because it's in the source code, but when I save it and then close out of that, what have we got? Actually, we've got a bit of a problem. This is not going to be displayed. Here's why. So if I go ahead, we'll notice that the book one was fine, but this one is just showing with a blank square. So if I right click on the portal, you can do this on any website, and you can view the source of the web page. So if I scroll down a little bit, we'll see here that we've basically got a link, and you'll notice that it says Font Awesome in that link, and that's linking to a style sheet. If I go back to the home page for Font Awesome, or the start page, it tells you what you need to do to actually go ahead and get started and use these. Now, Font Awesome's been around for a while, and they seem to have changed things slightly to where you can use Font Awesome, but then if you don't keep up to date, then maybe the style sheet that you're referring to is going to be out of date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just copy this line of code here. This is basically referring to a style sheet for Font Awesome. I'm going to go into Dynamics 365, into the header web template for my portal, and I'm going to go ahead and just paste that line right at the top and go ahead and save it. So what we're doing is just putting a reference in and calling to be able to use all of the different free icons with Font Awesome. So let's go ahead and try that again and refresh. Perfect. So you can see immediately as soon as I've done that, because I'm linking to the most up-to-date style sheet, we can go ahead and use that thumb. Perfect. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's look at the profile page. So if I go to my profile page, and I want to add in a couple of icons next to my profile and change profile image. So we're going to go ahead and we will edit this, and we'll go into the profile one. And what I want is, I've got one that is, I think it's called user. So let's filter by the free. Yep, so there we go. I've got a user. So that's the one that I'm going to use. And then for the profile image, I'm going to use this user circle font awesome icon. So if I go back to the profile, and I've already got one. So we've got .fa.fa-user. Then what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to determine the size of that icon that we want to display. So if we go back to Font Awesome site, they've got a section here that says you can style the icon, so you can change the size, color, and so on. So if I click on the size, we can see here it shows some examples of different sizes that you can use. So we've got FA small, FA LG for large, 2 times, 3 times, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a 2 times. We'll go ahead and save that. And then we'll do the same thing again on the change profile image. And this one, oh, I've forgotten what it's called, so let's just do a quick search. I think it's user circle, filter by the freeze. Yeah, user circle. There we go. Hopefully I've typed that out right. So let's go ahead and save it, and we'll save again. Wait for it to refresh. Perfect. So now we've got a little bit of styling there. We can see some nice icons for the profile areas. All right, so now let's go ahead and do something with regards to color. So if I go ahead and edit the profile copy, and again we're going to go into the source here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of liquid here. So if you're not sure about liquid, you can search for liquid on my website at meganvwalker.com, or also look through some of the other videos where I've done stuff about liquid. So what we're going to do is just paste in a little bit of code that I've written. What we're doing here is we are using 2 different Font Awesome icons. We're using one for a quote left icon, one for a quote right. And what we're also able to do is we're able to do a little bit of styling and basically set the size of that. So before we did FA2X, what we can also use is different sizes that you would use for fonts. So you can use EM, RM, PX. So I'm doing 1.5 EM, and then I'm setting the color as light green. Then what I'm doing is I am saying hello, and I'm putting, using liquid, user.firstname, and then I'm closing that with the right quote. So I'm going to go ahead, click OK. Again, you're not going to see the source code, so we don't see that. So we're going to just go ahead and save that. And now we can see hello Megan with the green color that we set for those quote icons. All right, so let's look at this again, and we'll go back into the copy, and let's go back into the source, and we'll do let's do a couple of line breaks, and we will go ahead and put in a check to see, is there something in the job title field? If there is, what we're going to do is use another Font Awesome icon, and that's going to be the check, which is like a tick mark or a check mark, and then say your profile is up to date. Else, or otherwise, if not, we are going to use one that is basically an X. This is a times or a cross, and we're going to say please provide your current job title below. So obviously you could use that for whatever you wanted to say you need to update it, and then we can go ahead and we are setting it to use 2X. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and we'll go ahead and save. So, oh, let's just clean that up a little bit because it's a little bit messy, isn't it? A few too many breaks. And a few too many paragraphs. All right, let's try that again. Maybe I've gone too far the other way now. Anyway, so we've got X, please provide your current job title below. So I will put in CRM consultant. Go ahead and we will update that information. And immediately we should see, yep, perfect. So now your profile is up to date. Awesome. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea in terms of how you can use Font Awesome. Like I said, it is already part of the portals, but if you want to use more of the icons, the more up-to-date ones, then you will need to add in that line of code, which again you can find on the main start page for Font Awesome. You just need to copy that and paste it into your header template. Job done, no problem. Again, they also have pro icons if you wanted to pay, but there are so many of the free ones, probably going to find what you need without having to pay anything. One of the other cool things is they've got social icons, so things like Twitter, things like LinkedIn and so on. So if you wanted to be using things like that, you could do that also. On the left hand side, you can also filter based on different categories, and you can see it's pretty easy to search and find things. So love to know how you think you might use this or how you're using this already. Hope you found this pretty straightforward and easy to do, and thanks for watching.